Welcome to Harper Family Travels, and today we're going to talk about America versus Thailand. We have been in Thailand for 60 days now.
What?
So we've observed a lot of things that are different about Thailand than in America.
Yep.
And things that we have adjusted to. And I'm really excited about this because I feel like it's going to be one of our best videos, because if you've never been to Thailand or if you don't know anything about Thailand, this would give you a really good idea. I was just writing down all of the differences and I came up with so many. This video is going to be broken down into sort of cultural outside, when you're out in public, the differences in food, and then thirdly, the last section will be inside the home. What's different when you go inside a Thai place? First, we will talk about just the outside of when you come to Thailand. What's it like? How's it different? And one of the first things that we noticed was, of course, the traffic. There are motorcycles absolutely everywhere.
Yeah, traffic is not as orderly as it is in the States.
Yeah.
Fluid is more fluid.
It flows.
It flows, and so you see these motorcycles just kind of weave in and out, and the cars just kind of just push themselves out in front of everyone, and they're just going to have to be okay with it. And it seems to work for them.
The flow of traffic, the idea is just to keep the flow of traffic going just at all times. Yes, they have traffic signs and traffic lights and things like that, but a lot of times they don't. And so you just cross the street whenever you need to. And for pedestrians, don't have, I don't think, as much. People watch out for pedestrians, but they don't have as much authority, I guess, as I would say.
No one
in America.
No one has authority on the roads like a motorcycle.
Motorcycles.
A motorcycle, a scooter,
true.
They
Totally
own
dominate
the road.
And they're absolutely everywhere. And if you have a motorcycle, you can do whatever you want to do.
Up on the sidewalk, the wrong
yeah.
way on the road, it doesn't matter.
People go the wrong way on a one-way road.
Yeah.
If you have a motorcycle, it's totally acceptable here. And everybody drives on the left side of the road.
Yeah.
So that's also confusing. When we're in a van and someone's taking us somewhere, it's just very odd. You know, normally you can turn right if it's a red light. Well, in this case, since everything's on the left, you can turn left if the light is red, and just things like that. When we're walking, I find it weird. I'm like, well, now do they have the same rule in America where you walk on the opposite side of the road, or?
Right. She's talking about like when you're walking down the road, which side of the road do you walk on?
And
it's
really,
not a consensus. It's not like, oh, well, obviously the opposite flow of traffic. It seems to just be what you feel like doing. And they also
they're very
have
accepting here.
Yeah, they really.
A lot of people have their business on their sidecar. So their motorcycle has a sidecar and they keep their business on there, but it's also their transportation. And they also put their children on it. And they also like just drive it everywhere and park it places.
Yeah.
And so everywhere you go, you'll see these sidecars, food stalls.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a motorcycle with a sidecar that might have a bunch of food in it, and you see them driving down the street and they've got buckets and like fresh food that needs to be prepped, or they might have their kids in the food, or they might have seats in it to get their kids to and from work because they've moved on from putting all the kids on the motorcycle with them. And that's just...
You see all kinds of stuff here. They also have tuk-tuks here.
Yep.
And until I went to Mexico, I didn't know what a tuk-tuk is, but...
A tuk-tuk is a 3 or 4 wheeled vehicle that is smaller in nature, that has a bunch of seating in the back, whether that's 3 seats or 2 seats or 6 seats. And also, they might have LED lights on them.
Yeah, maybe a pickup truck.
Maybe they've got some like sweet LED speakers blasting American music, but you will hear multiple times tuk 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 tuk.
And it's just basically the version that you would get on if you don't want to get in a taxi. A taxi is more for longer distances. A tuk-tuk is just if you want to go to the mall and back, and you don't want to walk 20 minutes.
One of the things that you've probably heard if you watched any of our videos, we talk about malls way more than normal humans should.
We didn't expect.
We did not expect to experience the next level of malls and how wonderful they would be. First off, you're inside, so you get some air conditioning. Second off, the food courts are typically price controlled, so we get a really good deal on some good fresh cooked food. We didn't really go to the malls that much, if at all, anymore in the States.
Yeah, in the States, they're not like there are some amazing malls in DFW. There's a really big mall, really nice malls. But here, you'll go to an ordinary town and they have like just really, really nice big malls. Beaches. So there's a lot of beaches. And when we decided to come here, I really didn't know a lot about Thailand. It's somewhere Jeremy thought would be the best fit for us. And so I said, great, get me on a plane. And one thing that he explained to me is that Thailand, the whole side of Thailand has a coastline. And so there's a lot of beaches in Thailand just by the nature of the shape of the country. And so pretty much everywhere in every city, going because it's long and skinny, there are beaches everywhere.
For a lot of Thailand, you've got just so much coast on either side of the peninsula. And so it's been really great to simply be able to find a beach, a place, and food, and we've really enjoyed that. That's been pretty simple and pretty great. Like in the States, there are certain things that you see a lot of. So like if you're in Texas, you're going to see Whataburgers everywhere. You might see a bunch of chiropractors or HEBs or something like that. Maybe if you're in California, you see In-N-Out. The amount of massage places and
Specialty leaf shops.
Specialty leaf shops.
Yes.
That
are not legal in America.
Not legal in America. That is legal here. It is unbelievable how many. And then in the massage places, there'll be like anywhere from like 3 to 8 people sitting outside wearing the same outfit, ready to give you a massage.
Yeah, there's at least 3 on every single block.
Yeah.
Everywhere you walk, so like let's say you walk 6 blocks, there's 3 massage places at least on each block. The massage places are absolutely everywhere. And I usually don't see anybody in the shops. So
I've seen a couple times.
It's been off season.
I've seen a couple, but not that much. But we do need to talk about these specialty, what did you call it?
Leaf.
The specialty leaf shops.
Specialty.
We did a 10-minute walk from where we were staying to a mall.
Yeah.
Guess how many we counted? 17.
There was 17.
17 specialty leaf shops.
There was 3 or 4. There was probably 2 on every block, but on each side. So you have 2 on this side, 2 on that side, 2 on this side, 2 on that side, all the way to the mall.
Yeah.
And it's just such a different culture here. It's totally legal. It's totally legal to smoke that type of leaf here.
Yeah.
YouTube doesn't let you just talk about it, so.
It's something you should know if you come to Thailand. That's something you should be aware of. Now, it hasn't affected us other than a random smell once in a while.
Yeah.
But it's really not been an issue. And, the ladies outside looking to normally these older ladies wanting to give you a massage. And they they ask you for a massage and they're sweet and they smile and it's no big deal.
Melting pot of cultures.
Yeah.
So you do see a lot of Thai people here. And then in the more touristy areas, you'll see a lot more tourists, of course. But it's a mix of all different kinds of cultures.
Yeah. Yeah, we are not I think we might have bumped into one other American couple since we've been here. And we know there's other Americans. We've been talking to them. But as far as in our day-to-day, we've bumped into Chinese tourists and other Southeast Asian countries and Russians and Ukrainians and Chinese, a lot of Chinese tourists here. So it's been interesting to hear all the different languages and hear the different cultures. And
most people think we're from Australia.
Yeah, before we talk.
Yeah. And because that is such a closer country than America is just so far away. We even found some very creative salespeople that what did he say on the when we were walking on the beach the other day? What did he say?
That's right. So a Thai guy was giving an Australian accent so that we Americans would understand what he was saying.
Or he was hoping we were
He was hoping we were
Australian.
Aussies and we were
Would
gonna...
you like a vape? It was just really funny. It
Yeah.
was just me and Jeremy. People don't ask us that usually because we're always with our 4 kids, and so they're very aware of. They kind of see, oh, okay, this is the type of family that probably wouldn't want to vape right now. But since we were out last night, I think the language translation, there's just a lot of English translation here.
Yeah.
We've been to places that are less touristy, places that are more touristy. And of course, in the more touristy areas, there's more English speaking people. But a lot of the food at the grocery store is translated. There's English right under it, all of the signs, English, like even more so than when I was in Mexico, having to translate things. Menus mainly, they usually have an English menu, things like that. So the language barrier really hasn't been, I wonder how difficult it's gonna be. It feels a little scary that their language is, all the letters are totally different. And so it's a little bit scary to think, well, what if I get somewhere and I can't speak their language? I can't even read their letters. Well, that really hasn't been a problem.
Yeah, even on the signs, like on the roads, you'll see written in Thai, and then right under it, you'll see it in English. They got smart, right? You put pictures of what you want, and all you do is you
They have a lot of pictures.
and you just point at it, I want this, and I'm
It's
like,
very helpful. The other thing is we've heard a lot of English music.
Yeah.
And I've been very surprised to hear Lady Gaga over here, Justin Bieber, lots of just pop stars, pop songs basically over here that I was not expecting. I didn't think they would have that over here at all, but it's almost like the Thai like that kind of music too.
Yeah, we will say that we've been in a good amount of tourist areas, but to be fair, the majority of what we've heard, no matter where we've been, we've heard English pop.
Yeah. This is more of a cash society. So you have to kind of get used to carrying a purse.
For now,
Yeah.
we grew up in my day, called it a fanny pack. Now it's a sling bag, and it's really been helpful because, like today, I purchased something with some cash, and I was supposed to get 5 baht back, which is 1 coin. I'm like, I can take on one coin.
More coin.
1 coin
Yes, a
is
coin
fine.
thing. There's a coin thing.
But they didn't have the 5 baht coins, so I got 5 1 baht coins, and so now my collection
Of coins.
of coins is massive.
It's mainly a cash society, so you can't just go swipe your card everywhere. Usually you're eating at these mom and pop little stores for food, and then the gas station. Would they take our card at the gas station?
If it's like the 7-Elevens, if it's over 300 baht, they'll take your card.
So we always try and have cash on us, and they don't have just like a Walmart or an Amazon. And so we've been trying to find sandals and swim trunks since we got here, because I thought we'll just pack lighter and we'll get it when we get there for all the kids. And Levi still doesn't have swim trunks.
It's overrated.
It's fine.
He just wears shorts.
He's just been wearing regular shorts because we haven't found like a good place that has swim trunks.
Yeah, I'm losing a little bit of weight here, just the food and everything, and I am much bigger, and I'm not just talking about width, I'm talking about height, than a lot of the people. Like the size small, medium, large actually makes sense here. And so we're wondering when it's time for me to have to get some more clothes that fit, if I'm gonna find anything.
And we need to talk about how you're not even trying to lose weight. You're totally eating everything.
I'm just
that
eating
you
everything I
want
want to do. But we knew.
And you're losing weight.
Really, we knew that fresher prepared food that is just healthier is gonna do.
The food's just healthier.
It's just healthier, and the amount of processed food that I've eaten is almost out. Unless you include. I like to have a Snickers bar, but I have to get 2 because they're so small.
That's farther on down the list.
I'm sorry. Something that's happened is that I'm losing weight.
We go, and we'll go ahead and talk about that. We go to the gas station and we want to get a Snickers bar or a Pringles or just the snacks that they have. The snacks are tinier in Thailand.
Tinier in Thailand.
Everything's
well, and all the
something.
portion sizes. We're from Texas.
Yes, the portion
and so
sizes.
portion sizes are probably not just probably they are too big. And here, the portion sizes are smaller, and I've gotten used to that.
Yeah. Okay, so now we need to move to our next category, and that is the food here. How is the food different here? What is it like? Just all the food related things.
Yeah.
And one of the main things that we noticed that they really, I wish they did this in, America should do this, is all of the markets you can go to. And we thought we were like so special when we came across the most amazing markets. And then we realized they're all over Thailand, or at least I did.
Right.
I was like, oh my gosh, this is like so dreamy. And then I realized they have these markets everywhere.
I watched a whole bunch of things and read about these markets. Was like, okay, this is something that we definitely want to experience. So the first one we go to,
It wasn't good.
it wasn't good. It wasn't good. So the next place we went to, and it was, Amber used the word magical, and it was for us because there was multiple things to eat. It was outside. There was live music.
Plenty of tables.
Yeah, plenty of things to
lanterns.
try, and plenty of space, and food was cost effective, and so we really, really, really love it. Anytime we get a chance to go to a market, everyone loves it.
Yeah.
My son has said this, and I think he's absolutely right. In Thailand, he's had the best thing he's ever had to eat, and the worst thing he's ever had to eat. And
Tried
that
a lot
is
of new
true. You
things.
try a lot of new things, and some things that may not be good.
That leads me to my next point, is everything. When we go to these markets, there's chicken and rice everywhere. There's chicken and rice and chicken and rice and more chicken and rice. And that's kind of what I always eat because I don't like seafood, like I mentioned on the last video.
There
which I
is
did.
a plethora
There's plethora.
of things to eat. But she's right, it's normally some sort of protein in some form of rice.
But they don't just do chicken and rice, they do rice in almost everything. We've had ice cream with rice.
Yeah, that was a feature.
That was a feature because they just do that. We've had lots of desserts come with rice. And then another thing I noticed is when you go to get like meat on a stick somewhere, because they have that pretty much everywhere, they ask, do you want that with sticky rice? And it's like 10 baht. It's like under 50 cents or something. And they eat the meat with your sticky rice almost like a roll would be in America.
Right.
So in America you may get a roll with your meat and then just eat that as a meal. Well, here they eat it like a little patty of rice, and that's how they don't have rolls here necessarily. So that's how they do their little starch with the
It's
protein.
delicious, and the sticky rice. You'll have things that are prepared more sweet. You'll have it prepared more savory or very bland. And you were pointing out that sometimes you get some sort of protein on a stick, and it's almost too strong with the seasoning, and it's intended to be eaten with the rice, and that balances it out really well.
Balances it out, yeah. And you can put pretty much anything here on a stick.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
we've
lots
seen
of
all
things.
kinds of things on a stick.
Yes. One thing I noticed, Jeremy notices all the food stuff, but I noticed the fact that they don't have napkins here like I'm used to. And if you've seen some of my other shorts, you'll notice they just don't have napkins here, and they'll just use these thin little
They're toilet paper.
It's toilet paper
Or napkin.
basically.
Kleenexes. It's
Just
like
the
that.
tiniest little for your fingers, I guess. In the mall, just these little tissues. They don't do napkins unless you're at like a really nice place.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
we
and-
joke,
yeah.
oh, they have napkins here. It must be a really nice place.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Pretty much they cater to a bunch of tourists, and they know to have napkins. for
yes,
us. Yeah.
they don't always have like salt on the table. They don't put
Right.
salt on stuff.
Right. There normally is a couple of sauces, but the family as a whole is, they don't really like some of the sauces. They don't like the fish sauce. They don't like
Yeah, so
the chili
normally
sauce.
I would just put salt on it.
Yeah, and they would just want you to use one of these sauces, and that's what it's intended for, but they haven't found that they liked it, so.
And they have ketchup here, but it's a
It's-
sweet ketchup.
Yeah, it's not like
as
regular
good.
ketchup. It's not.
as good.
It's not as good. And you don't need ketchup for much.
Yeah,
but when you
we haven't
decide
eaten
you're
it.
going to get something with French fries, you're like, hey, some ketchup with French fries.
Yeah.
And it's not the same.
And cheese.
Cheese.
And I noticed this about Mexico too. They don't do cheese like in America or the South. We do a lot of cheese. I do a lot of cheese. I'm used to eating a lot of cheese. They don't. I would venture to say I haven't had hardly any cheese in like 60 days, honestly. And we tried to get sandwiches just to do something at the house for the kids, and the cheese that we got was bad.
It wasn't good.
It was worse than
It was American cheese.
Kraft
and
American cheese. It was worse than that.
It was horrible. I have had some things with cheese. We have had some good pizzas here.
Yeah.
I also had a kebab that had cheese in it, and it was very good. But most of the time, she's right.
But like in America, they put cheese on absolutely everything.
So
I did have a baked potato with cheese and bacon on it
oh, that's true.
at the market
Yeah.
back in Houlihan. The pricing.
Pricing.
We have loved the pricing. It's way better. I will say.
We've really enjoyed getting the opportunity to be able to try new things and not worry about it. With a family of 6, we tend to watch that a little
It
more.
multiplies.
Yeah.
But that's one of the reasons we picked Thailand.
Yeah.
It's very affordable. You can travel, you can go experience new places, and it's actually more affordable than your hometown. So,
Pretty much, if you love freshly prepared food and beaches, this is your dream trip.
so like we had mentioned before, they have a lot of seafood here because we're just by the sea. So everywhere you go, they'll have these seafood markets. And I was amazed with the first seafood market I went to. I was completely blown away. I felt like I was in a movie set or something, and it was like raining, and there was bicycles going down, and there was lights, and there was fish that people were just selling in aquariums where people were selling lobsters.
Pretty incredible to see all of the different kinds, and I couldn't recognize most of them. Not most of them. I'd say about half of them.
But one of the things at the last market we went to is they were selling this fish, and instead of, you have to put prices on everything so people that are buying it, they know. Well, they put like literally a piece of masking tape with the price on it, and then just put it directly on the fish.
Yeah, on the fish,
And you just would never see that in
Yeah.
America.
you see this random.
You see all these fish, and they've got masking tape, and that's how much each of the fish
Yeah.
are. And I just was like, oh my gosh, they just put a sticker.
Yeah, and their
the
mastery.
fish.
When we eat squid in the States, there's one way you get it. Okay? It's calamari. It's normally cut up and fried, and you have it as like an appetizer. Here in Thailand,
There's lots.
there's lots. They'll fry the whole thing. They
Fried squid.
fried squid. They'll dry it out and then press it to the point of being paper and hang it up with like clips
Yeah.
and sell it. Now we never tried it because I'm like,
They said it
That's
was
a little weird.
like a jerky.
yeah, it's so kind of like a jerky,
Like
squid jerky.
Squid jerky.
Yeah, no, I wasn't gonna
We
try
didn't
that.
try
We didn't
that.
try that. That was a no-go.
I was like, why is he flattening that squid?
Yeah.
Like, why?
Yeah, that squid roe and like things we've never tried before.
Squid roe, what's that?
So that's squid eggs.
Oh.
So Jackson got some squid roe and we tried it and it was all
When
right.
did that happen?
We were in the Houlihan market and we tried
So
it
you
and he
wanted to
finished
try
it before.
Oh.
Yeah.
He also got a bucket of octopus.
Yeah, hot bucket of octopus. Our family loves pad krapao.
Yeah.
It's normally we have it with ground pork and it's fried basil and you put it over rice and there's a duck egg on top and it is really, 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 really good. Jackson and I love tom yum soup. That is unbelievable. Very, very just freshly prepared. Just really great.
And I don't think we finished talking about you can get pad krapao for $2.
Yeah.
Sometimes $1.50, sometimes $3.
Yeah,
But
it's-
let's say $2 and everybody can get pad krapao and it's fine. And we all love it. If you get, as far as pricing goes, if you get American food, it is a little bit more expensive. It's not as expensive as it is in America, but it's
Right.
more expensive than Thai food. So if we're trying to save money or if we want to just eat somewhere simple, we will pick a Thai food restaurant and get pad krapao or chicken fried rice or pork fried rice or beef fried rice. And then we know it's not going to be expensive. Anywhere you go with Thai food, it's very inexpensive. And when we started this journey, Jeremy told me, oh yeah, the meals over there, they're cheap. But it's like, are they? And then when you get over there and these people on YouTube, yeah, they found some places that are inexpensive where everybody can eat for $1 or $2. But are we going to be able to find those places?
Right.
And I'm glad to know that we have been able to find those places, and it has been inexpensive to eat here.
Fresh fruit and the amount of new fruits that we've tried.
We've tried new fruits, that's right.
And you know, whether it's something simple that you know, like watermelon, or mangosteens, we all realized
we just tried the mangosteens
all our lives. People kept saying, you need to try them.
It's amazingly...
Yeah, it's really, really good. And there's just fruit vendors just all over the place, and they just serve it up for you. And that's something that's really hit the mark for Amber and for the family.
Mangosteen was a big surprise because we saw it out and we were like, oh, that must be a fruit, but we didn't know until multiple people told us you have to try the mangosteen. It's so good, and we did, and they did not oversell it. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
But last category, and this is a shorter category, so we are getting towards the end, and so there's some really good things in here. The inside of the home. So the inside of the home is different just than you would see. Most everywhere we've gone is complete. There's no carpet. There's absolutely no carpet. That is something I don't even have written on here. But there's no carpet. Everywhere is tiled with all kinds of different tiles usually.
Doesn't matter.
Whatever tile happened to be lying around. But you don't walk into a home with your shoes on. You just don't do that.
Yeah, you take your shoes off, and you know what? We've realized
it's a good
thing to do.
It's a good thing to do. It's been very, but back home, we didn't always take our shoes off when we come in the home if we're going in to go. But Thai people, you don't, like, even if you forgot your keys and you had to run back inside, you take your shoes off and then you go get your keys and you come back. There's no shoes in the house. You leave them at the front door. And we've had just a full lineup because all of us have about 2 pairs. So we'll have several shoes lined up at the front door. So that is something we're getting used to, and we'll probably keep that. Yeah. We like that. That's good. That's a good practice.
I think it might be harder in the wintertime if you have a bunch of boots and things like that. I can see that being harder.
That's true.
But
and usually another reason it may be part of their culture is because they do live by so many beaches here.
Yeah.
And when your feet are sandy, you don't want to bring the sand in the house.
Yeah.
And everybody's wearing flip-flops, so you just drop off your shoes on the way out.
There might be a religious reason, but a lot of things we've noticed here is just practically how they live daily.
The plugs are different here, so we had to bring adapters, so you can't always just plug something in. Sometimes you can.
Yeah, it depends on how they design the plug and if your device can handle multiple voltages.
They don't always have dryers here, like for your clothes. They don't always have washers here either, clothes washers. And so the last place we were in, we were hand washing stuff and then hanging them out. All the places have racks where you can hang your stuff outside to dry, clotheslines, things like that. Something we've never had to do because we've always had a washer and dryer. The next place we're going actually has a dryer, and I'm kind of excited about it because sometimes the laundry can back up, especially as many rainy days as we've had. When we put our clothes out to dry, it's still not dry like 24 hours, especially the cotton stuff. So that'll be really nice to have a dryer again. But it really has been pretty easy to just wash the clothes and put them out. There's been a couple times that it's gotten backed up real bad, but other than that, we've been able to manage. We only have clothes that'll fit in our backpack anyway, so it's not like we have mountains of clothes or 8 loads of laundry like we did back in America. So, and then dishwashers. No place that we've rented has had a dishwasher. No place has a dishwasher. None of the Airbnbs, and we probably stayed in 8 probably at this point. None of them have had dishwashers.
Yeah, and it's just you do things differently here.
The next thing is the showers here. They don't have shower doors or shower curtains.
Yeah.
I mean, they could, but they don't.
Why? They say why?
What's the point? You just close the door to the bathroom, and a lot of times the shower head's just right there by the toilet or hanging over the toilet or just in the room, just hanging on the wall. And there's no shower curtain or shower door. You just close the door to the bathroom, and that is your privacy.
Yeah.
So we're used to having shower curtains, and we're used to having the Houlihan place. We had to close the bedroom door because the glass, because
There
it
was no
see-through.
privacy in the bathroom.
There was no door to the bathroom.
Yeah, and it was nice. It was very nice, but that's just how they do things.
Yeah, but if you wanted privacy, you had to close the door. And
Yeah. First time we got into bed, we're like, oh, look, it's just a duvet and a duvet cover, and you just get in. I guess it's how they decided to do it here. Then we go to the next place. It's the same thing. Go to the next place. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
They do not believe in a top sheet here.
Yeah.
They really don't. And most of them try to save as much energy as possible and not use their air conditioning. So, you don't necessarily need a lot to cover yourself to stay properly, give yourself a proper temperature.
Yeah, we're used to having a top sheet. Just
Yeah,
anywhere you go in
anywhere you
America,
go.
you wouldn't just not have that. And then that brings me to the next thing is you don't, they have air cons here is what they call them, and they're air conditioners on the wall. They don't have central air.
It's just a split units in multiple rooms.
Yeah, in every room there's an air con, and when you leave the house, you need to respectfully turn off all the air cons and all the lights. And if you don't, it's almost rude.
Yeah.
It's almost rude. Like,
Yeah, you're being wasteful.
please
you're not-
conserve energy.
We can, in the States, you want to keep things, whether you have more sensitive equipment like computers and things like that you're trying to keep at a certain level, like I did at my job, or you don't want your kid, or it takes forever to get the house
If
cooled
we
off
turn
and it
off
costs
in our house we have a big vaulted ceiling in our 5-bedroom.
Yeah.
It's an Airbnb
It takes a long
right now.
time.
It takes like 9 hours to get back down to
Yeah.
cool again.
So in here, those things, you turn them on 10 to 15 minutes, it's back where it needs to be.
it cools that room.
So it's just a different way of doing things, and it does save money and it does save energy.
Yeah. And when you get an Airbnb, they also want you to pay extra. Sometimes you need to look on the description.
Yeah.
Because some places they'll say what the cost of the home is, and then you pay for your electricity usage. You'll pay that after you check out. So we've had a couple of those.
Yeah.
And we knew.
No big deal.
that. We
Yeah, it
knew
was
that.
no big deal.
And you don't want to drink the tap water here.
Yep.
The tap water here is not safe for drinking. You can brush your teeth with it, but otherwise you need to get, some Airbnbs have a filter and some do not. In some places we've gotten lots of water bottles at 7-Eleven, and other places we've had a filter. So
Yeah, it's just a part of it, and it's what you got to get used to.
for our family of 6, we go through a lot of water though, so
Yeah.
it's one of those things that's either convenient or very inconvenient depending on what the Airbnb has.
Yeah.
A lot of times we're walking, and so we're carrying bottles back with us. So anytime we go to the store, it's like, be sure and get more water, that type of thing.
Mhm.
So, and then our last thing, we've left for the last thing.
Come to another country. You decide you're going to embrace those differences, but sometimes you're not prepared for how different certain things are going to be. You might be thinking I'm talking about language or driving on the wrong side of the road, the left side of the road, or whatever it is. No. I'm talking about number 2 etiquette in the bathroom. And what I mean by that is they don't do toilet paper the way we do. They
don't.
expect you to use a garden sprayer, a bum gun as we like to call it, or a fancy boudet, and one square. That's what they want you to do. There's a little trash can beside the toilet, and you sit there and you spray yourself and try to clean as much out as you can, and then you wipe yourself with one square.
They don't say 1 square, but we know they mean.
We know they mean one. Signs everywhere that's like, please don't put toilet paper down.
Some places we say they don't want us to put toilet paper in the plumbing system.
Yeah.
That's just how the plumbing system
That's
is
just
here.
how it works here. But there was one time when we went, it was at the floating market in Bangkok, and it
Oh
was
my
super
gosh.
cool, and I had to use the restroom, and I had to do that, and I go,
And we hadn't been here a week. Like,
yeah, I had been here a week to know to go ahead and have something in your man purse that can help you wipe. Because I went in there, and there was nothing to wipe with. There was the garden sprayer, but nothing to dry yourself off after that. So I sat there for a good 5 minutes, spraying things around.
5 minutes?
5 minutes. Trying to clean things off so that I wouldn't leave a skid mark. But what I will tell you is I immediately, the very next day, made sure that I had some form of napkins, tissue in my fanny pack. So that in case that happens again, I have a way to wipe myself.
So that concludes with that wonderful story. Thank you, Jeremy.
You're welcome.
So that concludes our list of the differences between America and Thailand after we have been here for 60 days. I hope you enjoyed it. If you are planning on coming to Thailand, I hope that helps you. And even if you just didn't know anything about Thailand, I hope that helps you. Be sure and watch the reels that I'm putting out. Be sure and check out some of our other videos. But really, that's all that we're going to do this week. And we hope you enjoyed it.
We're going to Malaysia tomorrow.
Tomorrow, we go to Malaysia. That's right. This is weird.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in Malaysia.